Yo, what's up? This is Roy from BFM Black Fathers Matter. Thanks for rocking with us. I got my man. What's up, Ralph? How you saying, homie?
Yo, what's good, bro? You know what, man? I'm just blessed to be here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because, yo, tomorrow is not promised. That's what my grandma used to say,
It's not promised,
on the
man.
old Negro spirituals. But what we know right now is that today is not promised, my G.
That's right, man. Today is the present, though. It's the present. You
Yeah.
gotta see what you can do with it, but tomorrow is not promised for real.
How you feeling, bro?
Man, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough month to be honest. Aside from Corona, we got other situations going on within the culture, and it's been tough. It's been overwhelming. But you know what, man? I woke up this morning. I was able to leave the house and come back home alive. So I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? What about you,
Right.
man? How this week been
Well,
for you?
you know, uh, it again, a heavy week with a lot of things kind of in the universe, but
Right.
I gotta just be happy to be here, man, because one, we get to chop it up. I get to
That's right.
chop it up with you, and also, I just, I think we have, I think in times like this where the culture is hurting and where people are hurting and people are angry and they're trying to find purpose and meaning in all this
Mm,
bullshit, that we need to remember small victories.
that's
We
right.
need to remember that sometimes it's not the big thing that we get. It's a lot of small things.
That's right, man.
And we're going to talk a lot about George Floyd, uh, and everything that's happening in
That's
Minneapolis and
right.
across the North America, and crazy things that are happening up here in Canada. Do you know what was the thing that gave me a blessing just before we started
What was
recording
that,
this?
man?
So the dude, and I don't even know his name, and even if I did know his name, I'm not even gonna say his name
We
on
ain't gonna
my
put
air.
no. Yeah, we ain't gonna give that name power,
Okay.
bro.
So that cat that did that dirt to George Floyd, his wife left him immediately. Now, normally that doesn't happen. The woman
Right.
tries to be supportive. She tries to show love. She tries to do all the things to say, yo, I know my husband. He's not like that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He got indicted, and she was like, ghost.
And man, kudos to her for that, man. Because if you stay with a guy like that, that says a lot about your character. So you know what. And the good thing is, like, what I'm saying is, she can see what's right and what's wrong, and she made that right choice. So definitely, I mean, applaud her for that. That's definitely a good decision. But George
Yeah.
Floyd, man, was one of the incidents that happened this week, and it's been a tough week. This week we had, it's been very eventful. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Regis. Rest in peace to Houdini as well too. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all may
Yeah.
not know him, but he's a 21-year-old up and coming rapper who was taken. His life was taken on Tuesday this week. So there's a lot going on in the culture, but we got to stand up. We got to stick together and keep pushing because this ain't gonna last for long.
And we also have to remember that in moments of what seems like insurmountable struggle,
Right.
our people have always found meaning and purpose. And it's hard to it's hard for some people to understand what is happening in the streets of our communities today. Uh, and it wouldn't be necessarily what I would do as a old man now, but the young me would have been right there.
Yeah, I'll be out there too,
Just,
man. For real.
you know what I'm
And
saying? And so what I hope is that the people who are demonizing and shitting on all these people that are just trying to find purpose and meaning in this, just remember that this is pain. And this is not today pain. This is pain from a long time ago, and people are tired of being tired.
that's right. You know, it's somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's, father.
Yeah.
So, you know, we just gotta, it's just one of those things where, this week has really put a toll on the whole culture. And just to see how, it's 2020, man. You know, we've come
2020.
far for us
Yeah.
to even be having these types of situations. You know what I mean?
True. True.
So,
True.
and in the midst of all this that's going on, man, you got people who are trying to make profit off the death and, try to make light of or joke about it, which I ain't really down for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
like, Toronto Sun put out a, on the front page. And for those who don't, I'll just give a little backup story. So Houdini is a 21-year-old up-and-coming rapper. He was killed broad daylight, 4 p.m. Tuesday, May the 26th. You know what I mean? And they're still doing their thing, investigating and whatnot. But the following day, Toronto Sun put out on their front page saying, "Who made Houdini vanish?" Now, Houdini's his rap name, his
Right.
entertainment name. But to me, that was, that was not called for, man. It was not necessary. You don't have to go making jokes about stuff like that. And, rest in peace to his real name is Demario Jenkins. So, rest in peace to him. And, our prayers go out to the family, man, like, because I didn't feel right looking at that newspaper.
Yeah.
To me, that's a culture vulture. And I don't have time, like, I don't have tolerance for culture vultures. Anyone that is going to use our culture and enjoy our culture, whether it's music, food, a lifestyle, but they don't care about the culture.
Yeah. Well, there's the flip side to that too, is that, you know, we got a president in the White House that had the nerve to say, when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
It's ridiculous, man.
Now, Donald Trump, and I don't think we've said his name once on this, since we started this podcast, but I'm going to speak on this for a second, because
Yeah.
you know who was one of the people mad responsible for building his rep up as this like rich billionaire doing
Baller.
big things? Yeah. Black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
He's in videos. He's on
Hip-hop
tracks.
videos.
There's tracks named after him. Like, we've given him so much.
He's on albums, dude. Like, I was listening to an album the other day, and he was on an intro. So
Yeah. And
that's crazy. He would say that, man.
So we have to remember, man, at the highest levels of government, it's not just the police. It's not just the police. It's not just the policies.
Right.
Now we in the White House with a boot on our neck.
Right.
And so we just have to remember that, man. And we got to keep pushing, and we got to keep fighting. We got to keep striving. So, I want to play this classic material and I'm going to, we're going to play this cut, and we're just going to go to a break.
That's right.
Okay. So there's so many songs that we could play about what it means to feel that boot that I was just mentioning on our neck. And I could have picked a bunch of songs. And so I picked this track. It's called Animals by Dr. Dre. Anderson .Paak is on it too. Yeah. And it goes from the lyric that I picked starts at a minute and 4 seconds, and I think it just, I don't know, man. I just want to say, we started this because we love our kids, and we love the culture, and we love Black people, and we've done 5 shows, and 3 of them have been some topic about death. And I think that what I just would like to say, man, is that for all the people that are protesting in Minneapolis, for all the mothers that are crying, for all the fathers that are holding their kids extra tight, for all the people that we have lost. You know, I think what I just, you know, we're going to go to this break, and yeah, I just want to, I was going to, I want to say I want to bow my heads, but I'm tired of praying. I'm tired of praying. So I just want us to remember that there's so many people whose lives we lost way too young. And
you know what, man, I hear that. Like it's a frustrating time because we've been praying about these things. But you know what I mean? I don't think this is the time we stop. We gotta keep pushing at it because we gotta think about our kids. You know what I mean? We gotta think about our grandkids. And like I said earlier, man, we're in 2020, and I want to shout out all the people out there, you know, like who are protesting. Like I noticed today, I was watching news, and people in the UK were protesting for George Floyd. People in India. So you know, this thing, it's unfortunate, but it's good to see that people are getting together to fight for a cause. Which, you know, we all viewed the video, man. It's tough. Like it's hard. Like I had to explain that to my 10-year-old today. You know what I mean? But
so wow. So I want to talk more about that. I want to talk about in our next topic, we're going to just talk about, you know, why do some white folks hate us? Like,
why some white folks hate us?
Why some white folks hate us? Because I just think there are some white folks out there that show us mad love, and in the starting five, we're going to go into that too.
Mm-hmm.
I also think there are some people that, for whatever reason, they not about it.
They just view us as less than, you know, and that's what the real issue is.
Yeah, and
we definitely know.
When you build policies that see us as less than, and in the U.S. there were policies built that say that, and when you see even in Canada, you think about what happened to our First Nations and Indigenous people.
That's right.
Government saw them as less than. Even if you make your policy change later, some people are still going to see you less than.
Of course.
So let's dig into that in a minute after this break. Black Fathers Matter.
Yo, we'll be right back.
All right, yo, welcome back to Black Fathers Matter. You know, our topic right now is quite simply, why do some white folks hate us? We lost another brother this week with the death of George Floyd. There's been, you know, in the U.S., in Canada, we lost
Regis,
young up and coming. Well, we lost Regis, who's a sister that somehow magically ended up off the side of a building. We still don't know the full details, but there was some police presence involved, and we don't know. And then young rapper just trying to get his feet wet in the game, Houdini, lost his life in the middle of the day. So, you know, how are you feeling about this right now, man?
Man, that's...
Let me ask you a different question. Let's just get right to the quick of this. Why do some white people hate us?
You know what, man? I don't like I said, it's just one of those things where it's passed down generations of racism, right? So if your granddaddy was a racist dude, he's going to pass it on to the kids, and it's going to continue to go down generations until you stand up and you break the cycle. And shout out to all the white people out there supporting us, and they're breaking the cycle because they're like, no, man, like, you know what I mean? This is not cool. I might not be black, but you know what I'm saying? So shout out to those white people. But if you choose not to, and if you continue to carry that hate that was given to you or projected by your family, your ancestors, that's where it comes down to, man. So no matter what you do, you could be a billionaire status, you could be Jay-Z, but there's KKKs who want him dead. You could be Oprah, you could be someone trying to help your community, but they want you dead. So, you know, it comes down to hatred, man. You know?
Yeah, you know, and we do, you know, whenever these deaths happen, and unfortunately we have so much practice
Yeah.
with that we get from you know, shock and outrage and grief and calls for justice, and those are white folks who are just believing that a wrong was what occurred, and they want the society to fix it.
Right.
And for you know, for most, you know, for a lot of Black people, we're just numb to this. It's like when your foot falls asleep.
Another one. Yeah.
And you're just like, I can't feel it, right? When we're numb to the fact that this keeps happening over and over again.
Right.
But sometimes, and this is one of those moments, it goes from that numbness to rage.
Yeah.
And this is where we are right now. People are rioting in the streets. Right. Someone was killed in Detroit.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, they're rioting in the streets in Minneapolis right now. Like they burned down the police station. It's crazy, you know, and like I feel their pain. I see the rage in these people's eyes. And this is, like I said, it's 2020 right now. Like I remember, was it like 20 years ago when Rodney King situation happened, when we saw him getting his ass whooped in public TV? Yeah. You know what I mean? This is like years later. So I understand people out there doing this and rioting and expressing their frustration. But I feel like, yo, if they don't go home, man, them cops are gonna start shooting. And I don't want anybody else dying, man. It's just.
So when I was a kid growing up in the Bronx, one of the things that was like a known thing that in the hood was that cops used to take, you know, Black and brown kids to the top of abandoned buildings and would just throw them off the building. Right. And it's just so crazy to me that almost 50 years later, we talking about a young Black woman, Regis, being thrown off a building potentially by police.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, you know, this is like, so yeah, yes, we can talk about Rodney King, but this goes back further and further and further than that.
It does. That's right.
There's no difference between what happened to George Floyd and what happened to Emmett Till. There's no difference.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what, man? Here at Black Fathers Matter, we're not anti-police. We're not that. You know, there are as good police out there who are trying to make a change and actually serving and protecting the community. But the sad thing is, man, the same amount of good, there's that same amount of evil out there.
Yeah. Look, whenever I see a police person, even if it's at like, you know, the donut shop, my sphincter gets tight. Right. I'm still scared about the interacting with police, but I'm trying to teach my son, go say hi to the officer, or hey, there's a cop, say hi, because I want to break the cycle that was passed down to me, which is that police authority, they there to hurt you,
misuse their power,
and show their power over you. So I don't want that for my kid, but
you know,
I don't.
You know what I'm saying, man? What that is they're just really pushing a hate agenda. So no, it's right that you teach your kids the both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like I had that conversation with my kid too, and it was tough, but I don't want my kid living in a world where she's afraid of the cops, but I don't want her to be naive. I don't want my kid living in a world feeling like, yo, I'm a young Black girl, and it's either I end up in jail or, you know, something that's like, I'm trying to show her, like, listen, I don't want you to be afraid of the world. I just want you to be awake. I want you to know what's going on, discern for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you about, because my kids haven't seen the video. I've said to myself, I'm not watching any more Black people die.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to watch Black people die, it's going to be like New Jack City. I'm not watching like real life police kill Black people anymore. I don't need to see it. I know what it looks like. But I'm wondering, you know, for your older daughter that is, you know, she's doing her own thing.
Right.
I
thought about my daughter when I heard about Regis getting, you know, falling off.
Right.
So I thought about her.
has she seen the video?
My daughter, I'm sure she has seen the video of Floyd,
Yeah,
because everybody, it's out there, man. Um, honestly, I hate seeing videos like that. Well, but it's one of those things where I want to see what happens, but it's like, you're gonna go watch a movie and the good guy gets killed brutally at the end. That's how it
yeah,
felt like. So man, if you haven't seen it, don't go see it. It's, what I mean? Like, I really don't want to be promoting people to go see it because I don't want to give that power. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You know,
Let's,
you know,
let's focus
my
on the
worry.
solution.
Yeah, my big worry, honestly, is that every hood has a stash of guns. We got
Yeah.
drug dealers. We got we got rockin' and rollers, and we got cats that are strapped, and
Yeah.
they might be more strapped than cops. And my biggest worry is that one of these times there's going to be a gang that's like, you know what, fuck it,
Well,
enough is enough, and they just break out the shotties, and now we in true war with black folks that have said enough is enough, and the cops. That is my biggest
yeah.
worry. And every time we end up in the street, that is what I'm thinking about.
Well,
Because
the crazy thing is, man, that has happened. You know what I mean? Whether it's protests, whether it's been, during slavery days when black folk get together and like, yo, this is enough. And we come out swinging and all that stuff. But you know what, man, at the end of the day, we've seen it end a way we don't want, like we see more black people dying. We see them getting hosed. We see them getting tased. You see them getting arrested, beat down, you
right,
know? So it's one of those things where it's like, yo, we can, it's tough, man. We just trying to get to the bottom of this, trying to find a way to, you know, raise awareness so we don't have to be having this conversation, man.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
You know, Malcolm X is born in May. His birthday is just passed a week ago, maybe 2 weeks
Right.
ago.
Shout out
He
to
would have been
Malcolm X.
he would have been 90 years old, which is crazy
It's crazy.
to think about. But he used to talk about the phrase "by any means necessary,"
Right.
and that you know, we I just to the way you said it, man, it will only end badly for us if and it only takes one person to say, you
Yeah.
know what, we need to protect our community, we need to protect our kids, we need to protect our people. I'm arming up.
That's right.
I'm arming up. And you know what's crazy? White folks, there are white folks that do this. That's
Oh,
what
hell yeah.
militias are. That's armed militias that are like, yo, if you come on my land, there's gonna be a problem. And they're saying that directly to cops.
Right.
So I just hope
Well,
if I could.
the thing is, like, there's certain parts of the world, and specifically in the US and, some third world countries where cops cannot go in. You even try to
Right.
penetrate these streets of this city, you're getting blown up,
Yeah.
right? So
So
they
you
stay
go.
out of it.
So you try to show up in the favelas and think you're gonna get through the favelas. You're gonna have a bad day, Mr. Cop.
No, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we can sit here and talk about that and be like, you know what, if we all did, basically what you're saying without the guns is we all need to get together, whether you black, white, Asian, I don't give a damn. If you are anti-racism, if you about that, I'm not saying you got to be, oh, I'm not racist. There's a difference between being not racist as opposed to anti-racism.
No
So
doubt.
if we can get everybody to stand together and say, yo, this is enough. And we may not come at you with guns, but we gonna come at you.
Yeah.
You
You know,
like that's
the
all it is,
world
man.
the world loves so many things about Black culture. They love our music. They love our fashion. They love our swag.
They
They
love
love our
wearing
basketball
Jordans.
players. They love
They love the food.
they love the food. They love everything about Black culture except Black people. And if I would, if
And that
I,
is what a culture vulture is. That's exactly what a culture vulture is. If you're going to use the culture, which is not yours, to make money, to profit yourself, but when the culture that you're taking from, they are dying and you're just sitting there and saying, I'm not going to get involved, you're a culture vulture.
Yeah, and I just, love us the way you love the culture.
That's right.
And if you do that, if you think about it that way, there'll be a lot less dead kids in the street.
Yeah, man. Everybody got to stand up and speak it, man. Like, you can't just let things happen. If I'm
Yeah.
walking down the street and if I see, you know, an act of racism happening, whether it's a white person to a black person, whether it's black people towards an Asian person, I'm still going to speak up.
Right.
You
Right.
understand? I'm going to
That's
still
right.
speak up, be like, yo, what are you doing? And that's the thing that breaks my heart, because you know what, man? All these people gathered around George Floyd while he's getting choked out by the cops, and you had one police officer holding a crowd back. But he wasn't really holding the crowd back, because the crowd was already, like, they had their phones out, they were recording. You know, like, think about it, man. If that was your brother or your father and the cops were doing that, do you think I'm gonna sit there and pull out my phone and make a video so I could sell it to a news outlet? To sell it to TMZ, get some money for it? I don't give a damn, man. If you taking him, you taking me too. I'm jumping in there, and I don't care about, I don't care about you got guns or not. I'm coming to help. And that's what it is, man. That's what being anti-racism is.
Yo, so we're gonna take a break, but we need your help, man. We can't do this on our own. We've tried and we died then.
That's right.
And we need your help. And we know that there are people out in the streets, white folks that are out in the street raging right now, screaming right now, calling for justice right now, and we
That's
thank
right.
you. And if
I
I could say
appreciate that.
anything,
Yo, and I want to shout out all the white people that's been hitting me up, even my friends, my homies who've been hitting me up and just posting things about how can they help. That's what we need more of.
yeah, yeah.
So I
And so
appreciate that.
keep that going.
Yo,
This is, unfortunately, this is something that we're gonna have to keep talking about, and based on our track record, in a couple more episodes, we'll be talking about it. But for right now, we're gonna park this, knowing that there's more to
that's right.
come, more to say, and most importantly, more to do. Remember the names of all of these people. Know that they are mothers and fathers, sisters, brothers, and they are children. If if you can do that, we might have a shot at this. But
Right.
we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come right back with some of your questions. This is
We'll
Black
be right
Father.
back.
Black Fathers Matter. We're back. Normally we're gonna change the order up a little bit, right? We normally do the questions from the people, help a brother out, and then we do the starting five. But
Right.
all of this has been so heavy, and we're gonna flip the script, and we're gonna do the starting five right now. And the topic is gonna be hopefully lighten our spirits a little bit. We're gonna do the top 5 Black political comedians. So they gotta be Black. Their politics have to drive their comedy. So just because you do a political joke doesn't make you a political comic. And obviously they have to be comedians. So that's what we're going to do. Top 5 starting 5 Black political comedians. So when I say Black political comedians, Roy, what does that mean to you? Now, I'm not talking about the people, because we're going to get into that in a second, but Black political comedians, what does that mean for you?
Yo, I feel like it's like they use politics to drive their craft, man, in a very tactful way, which brings light to the situation, but it makes you laugh at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, some of the greatest comedians in the history of the game were political comedians, like white, no matter, right?
Right.
So, there's definitely a legacy and a history to people, comedians using politics to drive the whole game forward.
That's right.
We the only thing we don't know each other starting fives yet, because we never know the starting fives. The one thing that we had to agree was that we had to X out, and we're going to do this every time until, I don't know, but we had to X out one of the goats of it, honestly, which is Mr. Bill Cosby. Because again, we can't have nice things, and we lost Heathcliff Huxtable, so
yeah, no, definitely, man. We had to get him off the list, although he is one of the top dudes.
Yeah.
But we keep it moving though, because we got other fire. We got other dudes who are lit, and they've been lighting up the stage. So you know what, man? Since I went first the last time, Ralph, I'm gonna throw it at you, bro. You know what I mean? So who's your number one political comedian?
So, I always go when I'm, marinating on my starting five. I always go from oldest to youngest, mostly because I just want to pay respect to the history of the game.
Right.
And so my number one is a cat that, like, I didn't know that there was another Black political comic, honestly, other than this cat. And he would just show up. What was crazy as a kid is that he would just show up in random things on random white shows and just blast white people.
Go crazy on it.
Yeah, so my number one pick is the OG legendary, we lost him a few years ago, Dick Gregory.
Damn, yeah, man.
He would just be bodying cats, boy, and be relentless with it. So, RIP to the one of the legends in the game. He set the table for a lot of cats. He put a lot of cats on. He was part of that, the movement, and the movement during civil rights. He was right on the front lines. So my number one pick, the OG, Dick Gregory.
That's dope. That's dope, man. You know what? He is definitely one of the originators of this art and this craft. So you got to definitely give it up to him. My number one pick would have to go to a comedian. He's one of the original kings of comedy, but he's been very, very, very vocal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? About this situation that we face in our culture. And that will have to be D.L. Hughley. You know what I'm saying? He's brought that information and he's brought that awareness, like I said earlier. Right. Made you laugh about it, but he also made you think about it and do better. So that's my number one right there. What you got for number two though?
Well, the other thing I want to say about D.L. Hughley,
right.
if I can, like we just had to excommunicate Bill Cosby again. But what I love about Hughley is that he also, in addition to his comedy, he also really represented and still represents the power of the Black family.
That's right.
And
Black
so,
excellence, all of that.
Yeah. So shout out to him. Now, I'm going to tell you though, on the original Kings of Comedy, he was the weakest of the four.
Who's the hottest? Actually, maybe we'll do that. Who you think was the hottest, the number one out of that right there?
Oh, that night. I'm not talking about ever. I'm talking about that.
I know what your answer is gonna be.
Listen,
in his defense, G, you're going up against Steve Harvey. You're going against Bernie Mac, son. You're going up against, you know what I mean? Like, there's heavy hitters there. So
look, I love Cedric. I love them all. I love them all.
Yeah.
But Bernie Mac assassinated.
Yeah. I think Bernie Mac, he walked in there telling them, listen, man, I know this is the Five Kings, but y'all getting bodied at the end of this show. And he
the way it is going to be. Yeah. His motherfucker skit that night is one of the craziest things I've ever. Nope. Yo, we could do this all day. Bernie Mac is not on my list.
Anyways, let's take it back. Let's take it back. But I feel what you're saying, though. You know, man.
Okay.
But we'll still get into DL Hughley, though.
Okay. So first of all, I like DL Hughley, but you're gonna lose this week. My starting five is better because I got Dick Gregory leading off the squad.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna pick, and you picked the wrong person for your number one pick because I'm picking Richard Pryor. Now,
go for Richard. Okay. Damn,
Richard Pryor is like the crazy thing about Richard Pryor is so dope that he is the number one pick in like 5 different categories. You know what I'm saying? But his socio-political commentary about black people and about white people, yo, he's an assassin. So that's my number 2 pick.
He definitely is, man. That's your number 2?
That's my number 2 pick. Right, so in this draft, basically got 2 number 1 picks. G, you should have picked Richard Pryor. You messed up. Go. Who you got?
You know what, man? I'm gonna keep it down for I'm gonna hold it down on this end though. But I think my number 2, man, I'm gonna have to go with Dave Chappelle on that.
Okay. You redeemed yourself. You should have picked Dave Chappelle. I'm trying to redeem
myself because Dave Chappelle has been vocal as well too, man. You know, this dude turned out $50 million to go sit in Africa because he ain't gonna sell out.
Wow. So what's crazy is that you're not even talking about Dave Chappelle as a comedian, even though he is 100%.
He bodies the stage. He bodies the stage when it comes down to it. I'm talking about the character of the man outside.
Right. That was a political statement by him saying, yo, I don't want your money.
You ain't gonna make me dance. I ain't your monkey.
And guess what's crazy? He got all that money back. He got all that money back and then some. So
that's right. That's right.
You're Dave Chappelle, no doubt.
You know what I mean? And he set the tone for a lot of black people. Like, yo, we don't have to sell out to be real. We don't have to sell out. Be real. Be yourself, man. And what's meant to come to you will come to you.
And own your own content.
That's right. It's number 1. Be a master of your craft. Own your own
content. Yeah. Okay.
All right, man. Moving along. What you got?
I'm definitely winning. So my number 3 is Chris Rock.
Oh, now, you got three number 1s, G.
Man, this is like the dream team over
Rock. So you got the dream team right now, man. But I still have hope in my team, man.
You know what I love most about Chris Rock, and all of these comics do this, but what I love most about Chris Rock is that a lot of what Richard Pryor did and what Dick Gregory did was tell white people how fucked up their shit is, right? What Chris Rock did when he was really in his pocket was to tell black people how fucked up their shit is, and
they had to hear it though.
Yeah. Like his shit about the difference between black people and the N-word.
Totally different. Yeah.
Crazy. So that's my number 3, Chris Rock, representing New York City. Who you got for your number?
Okay. You know what? My number 3, I'm gonna have to take it down to South African dude, Trevor Noah, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to talk about political comedians, I don't think, right now, man, he's holding the torch. With the platform he has, which I appreciate. We appreciate
that spotlight.
Exactly, and he got a lot of white audience. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the way he flips it and he puts it out there and brings that awareness where white people can understand it without feeling, intimidated or whatever, that's dope right there. So I definitely give that to him, man. He's my number 3 right there.
I wasn't really a fan of his initially. I'll be honest with when I was like Trevor Noah. But
he different though. He different.
He has grown on me because I think because he's not American, his look at American culture,
it's different.
Feels different. Yeah,
that's right.
So I
you're on the outside looking in, so that is definitely that's something that not a lot of people see, right? A lot of African Americans or even black people in Canada, we view it a specific way, where as opposed to someone from say South Africa or even Australia would view it. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
UK dudes look at us a whole different way.
You picked him to represent for Africa. Like, who you kidding?
He represents. He.
You picking him? You gotta pay homage to the motherland.
Of course, man. He got he been doing his thing though. You know what I mean?
No. He didn't deserve it. Maybe when he got it, but he's making.
He didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know what to do with it. He got it a little premature though. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
All right, moving along. What you got?
My number 4 pick is not a cat. Maybe a lot of people know, but if you love Richard Pryor, what I would say is that the person that I'm going to pick as my number 4 pick is part of the reason why you love Richard Pryor. That's one. The second thing is if you think about the current comic style, right, which is the black comic style, which is I think this guy was partially responsible for that style, and that is the legendary Paul Mooney. Now, Paul Mooney was rich when Paul Mooney used to write for Richard Pryor, but when he came out on his own thing, he started doing all the political jokes. Like, Richard Pryor sometimes would dance around it, and Paul Mooney was going right to the heart of it.
He goes straight to it. He didn't beat around the bush. I feel that.
Yeah. So big fan. All his other stuff is on YouTube. He had a crazy flow. So yeah, that's my number 4. Paul Mooney. Who you got?
Yeah. All right, man. You know what, man? I'm gonna drop this dude on you real quick.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You may not consider him a full-blown political comedian, but he has talked about the injustice in civil rights. He's, you know what I mean? So I would definitely have to say Martin Lawrence, man.
You don't
find him funny? You don't find his content? But his content's always been about that, though, man.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. It's not. I don't know. It's been so long since Martin Lawrence has been a stand-up. I don't remember.
Okay. You got to go back and check that out, man, because I remember he would talk about things like that, and I'm like, wow.
I mean, he was a comic for a long time. Before he was Big Mama's House and Martin and Bad Boys and all of that. But I can't even argue it because I really don't, as I said, I don't remember what his flow was like as a comic. Like he was a host and he did a lot of different things. But Martin Lawrence. Okay. So my number 5 is I just want to give a little respect to the ladies. And Black fathers matter. We always got to keep it 100 for the ladies.
That's right.
This lady comes from the same tree. Like my whole crew is all from the same family tree, and so this woman, not only do I give her mad props, she's had shows. She was a writer on Chris Rock's show. She had her own show, stand-up specials, and she just does a lot of different things, but I see her as a political comic, partially because of her personal life and her, how she comes at it, is Wanda Sykes. She probably hasn't gotten enough shots, in comparison to some people, but she's been in the game for a long time doing a lot of things, so that's my number 5.
Okay, I hear that. But, so Wanda Sykes, though, kind of like, she does dance around the topic as well, too. But kind of like what you said with Martin Lawrence, man. I haven't seen a stand-up in a minute from her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, no, I hear you on that, though. She did address a lot of things. But I'm going to take it back to the OG, though, with my number 5, and that's going to be Whoopi.
Wow.
Right? She be using not music, but movies. And a stage to get that awareness out there. And she's been doing that for a minute. Although she hasn't been on stage in a while, but,
gotta remember, yo, when she first came in the game, with her one woman show, honestly, at the time, I remember the night I watched it on my bootleg HBO.
Right.
It was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. It was like, I just, it was unbelievable. And so for people that remember Whoopi from like Sister Act and Star Trek, or remember her on The View, know her from The View right now, promise and trust. Whoopi was a revolutionary when she first came into the scene.
That's right. She's one of the first ones I remember, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Whoopi, if you're out there, holla, man. Get at us.
Yo, you gotta have a sequel of the one woman show in you. Come on, Whoopi, bring it back.
Come on, bring it back. Take a break off The View for a little bit.
Yeah. Ain't nothing good for you at The View. You need to come back home, baby.
Man.
So that's our starting five. So mine was Gregory. I got you.
Yeah, I think you got me on this, man. Yeah, you crushed me on this joint, son.
I got you. But we're gonna post them. We're gonna post our starting fives. You're gonna vote on who you think your favorite is. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, can I say one more thing before we go to break?
Yeah, speak your mind.
After that last topic, it was just nice to laugh, man. I think tonight I'm gonna open up a nice frosty one. I'm gonna put on some OG like Richard Pryor live at the Sunset Strip. Yo. I might even let my kids watch it and just let them. I have to find one that bleeps out all the curses.
You know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense because, you know what, this week has been a tough week. And literally, man, on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I just been up at night watching some stand-up comedy. I had to laugh. You know what, I just had this knot in my head from thinking about all the stuff that's been going on. So I was like, yo, you know what? I threw on some seriously funny Kevin Hart, and I cracked up for like till I passed out, put it like that.
Yeah.
And the next day I did the same thing. So, you know, like laughter brings healing. So you got to do that, man.
I was going to run that back as my final call tip. But, you know, tonight, whenever you're listening to this, whether you're listening to this week or 3 weeks from now, there's still going to be some bullshit in the world. Find yourself an opportunity to laugh, to have some self-care, because, yo. Guys.
Speaking of self-care, man, if you a barber out in Grimsby, go check my man Ralph, man. Go check my homeboy out, man. This dude showing up like, you know what I mean? Go show that hair some love, man. You know, I got to get up there, son. Once this Corona thing's done, I'm going to come out there and, you know what I mean? But if you a barber out in Grimsby, hit us up. Black Fathers Matter, BLK Fathers Matter.
Yo, man, you let me look like this. You let my kids look like this. This cat talk. Yo, I said, okay, let me speak on this for a second.
Yo, the homie moved like an hour and a half away.
This guy, man. I said to this cat, yo, we need help. Like my kids need help. Yo, can you when you come help me move, bring the clippers so you can clean us up. You bring the clippers? No. So now I got a mullet in the back of my head because I don't even know where the side stop and the top begins, B. This is ridiculous.
Oh man, don't worry, man. We gonna take care of that, man. We gonna fix you up, make you look presentable. You know what I mean? But you gonna keep it black and proud though. I don't mean presentable as in for, you know what I mean? We gonna keep it black and proud with it.
Yo, you know what's crazy that you say this, man? Super producer, the Deacon's gonna get mad at me because we're over time. So I was looking in the mirror the other day. I was looking in the mirror last night after I got out the shower, and I was like, yo, I'm like 3/4 of the way to Cornell West right now. Maybe halfway.
Oh man. Yo, most definitely, G.
Yo, I'm gonna have to start rocking them black mock neck.
Yeah. Don't worry, man. We gonna get that sorted out. You know what I mean? Hopefully this thing is done soon, man. We gonna get if anybody want to help Ralph out, man. If you living in Grimsby, man, DM us. BLK Fathers Matter. You know what I mean?
Tragic, man.
The homie needs help for real.
Yo, this is like I'm in the sick and shut-in list. Please help me. Please help my kids. We all looking sad.
His hair is in a sunken place. We gotta help it. Well, we gotta wake that up.
No doubt. So please pray for me, pray for my hair, and we're gonna take a break and come back with Help a Brother Out, answer some of your questions. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Black Fathers Matter. Yo, I just tell you, man, it felt really good to laugh.
For real, it definitely brings healing. So if get out there and laugh, man.
Yeah, no doubt. So every week we're gonna answer some of your questions from the people. So if you have a parenting question that's in your spirit and is burning a hole in your brain, message us at BFM at catchafire.com. You can also message us straight through IG at BLK Fathers Matter. Just come find us. We're gonna do our best. So, Roy, you got a question ready from the people?
Yeah. I got a question right here, man. It comes from a guy named Charles. So I'm just gonna read this right to y'all real quick.
All right.
What's up, BFM? My name is Charles. I'm 22-year-old cook, and I have a 3-year-old son who I think is ready to be potty trained. He follows me and my girl into the bathroom and will sit up on the potty. Here's a problem. I jokingly told him to shake his pee-pee off like a sprinkler when we were in the shower, and now he does it all the time. Yeah, I got to pause, man. Why'd you tell your kid that, man? Charles, what are you doing, man? Anyways, and then he goes, okay, even when he's not on the potty, my girl is ready to lose her mind, and I can't help but laugh every time he does it. What do I do? Man, Charles, you a funny dude, man. And it's funny, like, it's really hilarious how you got your kid doing this stuff to the point where it's pissing off your girl.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. You know what I mean? So here's the thing, man. You're going to have to undo what you did and teach him that it's not okay to do that. What'd you say, Ralph? Like, what do you think? How can he stop this?
Yeah, okay. So I got some trauma I want to tell you about. When I had my first son, I used to like pick him up in the air, like on some like Rafiki type Lion King type
Lion King thing.
Yeah. He would love it. So I had put him down. He was like maybe 4 months, maybe less than that. And I put him down to change his diaper, but he was crying. So I took off his diaper. I thought he was crying because he, had the wet diaper. So I which he did. He had a wet diaper. I took off his diaper, but he was still crying. So I was trying to make the kid feel better. So I picked him up in the air to be like, he's good, thinking he's gonna laugh. So he starts laughing, and I'm like, "Who's my boy? Who's my boy?" He peed, right?
Man, I know where this is going, G.
Like literally pee in the mouth. It was all I could do to not drop his black ass on the floor. So.
Oh damn, G. That's crazy.
So to answer, so I can feel where Charles is at right now, and I'm gonna say to you 2 things, Charles. One, you fucked up, and how are you gonna undo this? You should buy your girl some flowers, and you need to apologize to your girl, and you just say to her, "Yo, I'm gonna fix this," and then every time your son goes into the potty, you need to reward that cat lovely. Cookies, brownies, gummies, not edibles, but like regular gummies, whatever you need, Hot Pockets, Slurpees, whatever you need to have that kid pee in the toilet. That's what I would say.
If you see him pull it out and start to wiggle it around, you say, "Stop that. Put your penis back in your pants." We don't act like that in this house.
Okay. First of all, you can't. He's not. Don't say penis because nobody says penis to their kids. What the hell's wrong with you? Say
My bad, man.
pee
My kids are older.
or
Put your
winky.
pee back in.
Yeah, whatever name you call your Johnson, whatever name you call the kid to the kid about his privacy.
Tell them to hide that.
You need to tell him, and he's not old enough that he's gonna come back at you and be like, Dad, what are you talking about? You told me to shake it around like a helicopter. So yeah, you need to. So don't worry about the kid right now. You need to make sure that your girl is good, and then you need to deal with the kid. That's what I was saying.
That's true.
Okay, so I got
what you got? You got next one?
Yeah, I got a question.
All right, let's hear that.
All right. Hey, BFM, cool show so far. I'm trying to avoid some baby mama drama, and I need your advice. I broke up with my ex 5 years ago, and we have a great relationship. We have had a great relationship ever since then, and we have focused on co-parenting our 9-year-old daughter. Here's the problem. I've been casually dating someone, and while I was watching my daughter, I went to the bathroom while my daughter was playing Roblox on my phone. While I was in the bathroom, my friend FaceTimed me and talked to my daughter. I'm worried that my daughter will go home and tell my ex. Do I tell my ex first? Woo! Okay.
That's a tough one, man.
So here's where you fucked up. Where you fucked up is if your new girl FaceTimed you while she knew that you were with your daughter, you didn't tell her, yo, I'm gonna be with my daughter. I'll holler at you. Don't holler at me, I'll holler at you. So that's your first mistake. Your second mistake is, iPads right now, you get it like a used one for $99, broken screen, half cracked, the home button don't work. Give that to your daughter and keep the phone for yourself. That's number two moving forward. Do you tell your ex? Yes. I think you have to tell her.
Hell yeah, you got to tell your ex, man. Like, what you talking about? Listen, if you're going to bring anybody's kid around you and whoever, you need to let the parent know. And I get it. You're co-parenting right now, but come on, man. You kind of got to know.
Okay, so I got to defend this cat for a second. Technically, he did not bring the girl around the daughter, right? Technology brought them together.
Right.
So we're hoping, we're assuming, but I know that your ex is not going to, it's funny that you said it that way, because your ex is not going to think that, is going to think exactly the way you thought, right. Which is he bought his new girlfriend and his daughter together. Now, so I think that you need to front it. You could even, like, if you wanted to be sideways about it, you could say it wasn't my girlfriend. You could say it was just some, it was a work call. If you get those kind of calls on your phone, you could say it was your blind cousin with, that lives in Alaska. You could make up any story that you want, but you have to tell your ex before your daughter tells her.
Exactly. And you know what, man? The fact that you're concerned that your ex is going to have an issue with it, you should have told her. Or you need to tell her first. With kids, man, they're going to say, hey, I talked to so-and-so. But they're not saying it was a FaceTime, face-to-face, you know what I mean?
The fact that you're asking this question tells us that you know already that your ex is going to freak out. That's the truth. Whether it's today or at some point down the road, you know you got the kind of ex that is a loaded gun. So you should tell her before she shoots you.
That's good advice, man. Like I'm already going gray, son. I don't need that.
Going gray. Wait, whoa. Going gray. Yo,
my top ain't gray yet. Any more of that?
You're about 4 inches from looking like Santa Claus.
This is that.
You Black Santa right now. Yo, you know what? Look, if you still weighed the way you used to weigh back in the day, because Roy used to be like 800 pounds back in the day, you could right now you could play Black Santa.
Man. I'm telling you.
Grow that out.
I grow that out in the wintertime for Christmas. You know what I mean? Because I make sure my kids know that ain't no white dude coming around giving gifts.
Yeah, you know who you look like when you was big boy?
Who that, man?
You look like Ruben Studdard. Remember that cat from America?
Hold on. I wasn't that big, G. I was like 60 pounds overweight. This guy gonna throw on like 300 pounds on me, son.
Yo, you was looking mad. Man. Yo, you was looking mad healthy, B.
I look like a big, I look like a pleasantly plump R&B singer, yo. You know the fat dude from Drew Hill? Hey, man, I don't know why you laughing, because you look like the chubby dude from Next when you were big, bro. LSD days, man. But yeah, hey, man.
Yo, listen. That's crazy, man. We should do a topic on that, because we was both
picks, man.
We was both big boned.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's it. I'm tired of talking about Roy's big ass. This is Black Fathers, man. We're going to be back with our final calls. All right, guys. We're going to wrap up the show with our tips of the week, which we call the final call. So, Roy, do you have a tip this week?
Yo, my tip comes in light of everything that's been happening this week. So, as y'all know, I got 2 daughters. One is older, late teens, and I have a younger one who's 10 years old. My 10-year-old lives on TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? She lives in TikTok world, and TikTok has been very, very vocal with their videos about George Floyd.
Oh.
Right? So they have videos, protesting videos, and all that stuff, and they're bringing light to it. So she came up to me and she wanted to know, what is this about? So my tip is, if you have kids and if they're asking you these questions, you need to explain it to them. Don't dismiss it. I know it might be tough for you to have those conversations. It was hard for me to have the conversation, but I had it with her, and she felt more, she felt better, because now she can actually understand what they're talking about. She can understand what they're saying and why this is happening. So it's a tough conversation to have, but you definitely have to have that with your kids. And I don't care if your kids are Black, white, Asian. You need to have those conversations with your kids. The problem, I think, is Black people have those conversations with their Black kids, but not a lot of non-Black people are having those conversations. So you need to talk about it, racism and all that stuff, man, and explain it to them where they can understand what you're, And I wouldn't advise you to take it all the way back to slavery days if you're not well versed in the information, but have those conversations with your kids. You feel me?
Yeah, I like that. So that's heavy. So I'm gonna do something a little light, because in my neck of the woods, our neck of the woods, they just announced that as part of the reopening plan for post COVID-19, that drive-ins are allowed to open. Now, I love drive-ins. Like, I go 10, 15 times a year.
We're talking about movies, right?
Drive-in movies. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have drive-in movie theaters here. Everybody's got at least one drive-in movie theater within your distance, no matter where you are in North America. And what's great about the drive-in is you can really hang with your kids.
Right.
You know, we turn the cars up, backwards. We put blankets and pillows. We have snacks. We pack like our dinner. We plan to have our dinner at the drive-in, and we never make it through both movies, but I'm just snuggled up with them, and we're just wilding out. And it's like watching a movie at your house, except it's on this big screen. In the, and if you pack it right, if you pack all your snacks right and everything, you never have to leave the car.
That's
unless
right.
You gotta go. So we all gonna be looking for things to escape and get out of the house, and it's gonna be hard to do because movie theaters are not gonna be open. Regular movie theaters are not gonna be open. So drive-ins are gonna be open. Maybe they're open near you. Rock with that, and that's my tip.
That's dope. That's a good tip, man. Especially for all of us who are looking for places to go at a time like this. I think that's really dope that they're opening it. Yeah. So be safe while you're out there, though.
Yeah, no, definitely wash them damn hands. Get your hand sanitizer on. Be safe.
So before we shut down, man, I just want to say this one thing. So to all my good white people out there who are watching our show and watching what's going on in the world, and a lot of the questions I've been getting is like, what can I do? Like, how can I support? Because, I'm not a racist white person, right? This is what I'm hearing is like, I'm not a racist white person. I love the culture and I love Black people, but how can I make a change in my day-to-day life, right? So definitely, I think that's a great question. So like, I wanted to throw it at you, Ralph, because, we've been talking about this and you mentioned some stuff earlier that white people can do, whether it's like signing petitions, but what do you think? Like, what would you say to all our white listeners, all our good white friends who are by no means racist, but they want to just support and be there for us?
All right, well, first I'm going to say I have white friends. I just want to put that out there.
That's right.
That I love very much. And we need what I'm going to call, and maybe someone smart also came up with this, but we need WALIs. And WALIs is short for white allies. WALIs. And we can't save our lives without, I said this, or said it, or I meant to say this earlier, we cannot save our lives without the help of white people who believe in our struggle, who feel the injustice and want to do something about it. So all the things that you said, I'm not saying that we need white people to run in the streets and support during the protests, but what I would say is vote with your money,
correct.
Vote with your time, vote with your vote. And if you see injustice,
right,
wherever it is, whether it's happening to Black folks or anybody else, speak on it and don't be afraid, because we already scared and we need someone to show a little courage so that we can protect ourselves and protect our families. So I would say, with all the love and respect in my heart for those white folks that really are believing in this injustice that happens to us on a regular basis, we thank you, and just keep doing what you're doing. And for those white folks who are sitting comfortable and are like, I don't think this is my place, it's your place.
And if
now
you
is
feel
your time.
And if you don't want to do anything, don't enjoy the culture. Right? If you see something happen which makes you feel uncomfortable, whether it's a Black, Asian, brown, whatever, if you see something happen to somebody that makes you feel uncomfortable, speak out for justice, stand up for them. And that's what y'all can do for our non-Black listeners. There you have it, folks. BFM, we try to push the mark here and just try to keep pushing that awareness. And, if you guys got any questions, you can hit us up. Ralph.
They can hit us up on our BFM Instagram page for sure. They can hit us up via email at bfm@catchafire.com. If you have a question about the show, a question about parenting for our Help a Brother Out segment, you can send it there. You can send a DM through IG. And thank you so much for rocking with us again. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Post the link of the show on your social feeds, and shout out to our producer, the Deacon, on the boards. And most importantly, until someone who knows more than you tells you, stay safe and keep your black ass home. Black Fathers Matter. Thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next week.